In this video, I'm going to show you how to make the assembly of your puzzle cube. I'm only going to do a couple pieces, but I'll show you the techniques that you need to use to do the complete thing. So I'm going to actually go back to my home. I can click on it down here, or I can get the little house icon up here, and this is going to be what's called an assembly. And it's loading currently down there in the lower left hand corner. It's going to be loading, and I think it's done. So I'm going to go up to the right underneath the word file here on the ribbon is place component, and I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to navigate to where the puzzle cube pieces are located, and it'll be on your H drive or whatever. And you can see my puzzle piece number 1 is this one, puzzle piece is this one, puzzle piece 3 is this one. I'm going to put 2 and 3 together. It doesn't matter which one you put together first, but I'm going to put these in. So I'm just going to pick on this U-shaped piece first, and I'm going to say open, and then I'm going to just click one time, and I'll press escape. I can put in multiples of this if I needed to, but I don't need to right now. I'm just going to put in one. Now this part, you can look over here on the model tree, is not what we call grounded. Grounded means I can put my cursor on here and move this all over the place, and I do not want that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to undo just to make sure it's in its correct location. What I'm going to do here is on the menu tree, I'm going to right click, I'm going to look for the word grounded, and I'm going to click on that, and I'll see the little pin here, and I put my cursor on here and it does not move. So that's grounded. It's located in place. Everything's going to get built off of this piece. So I'm going to go back to this. The first thing is, you see here's that U-shaped piece in the completed puzzle cube that I have, and then I have this L-shaped piece that I'm going to put in next. So again, this is the next thing. I'm going to go to the word place, and I'm going to find that part, and it's number 2 for me, and I'm going to say open, and I'm going to click and press escape a couple times to get out of this. Now you can do a couple things here to get this. This post has to go into the slot over here, and in order to do that, what you can do is you can just use the constraints. I can constrain this surface, and let's talk about constraints for a second. I should probably do that. I'm going to click on constrain. This is how we put things together. When you have square or rectangular parts, you always need 3 constraints to get them locked into place correctly. The first type of constraint we're going to use here is called mate. And then there are 2 solutions to mates. There's one that is face to face, and if I put my cursor on there, the little tooltip says mate. I've got an arrow coming out this way, I've got an arrow going that way. That means that those 2 surfaces are going to sit up against each other. This guy over here, this is called flush. That means that these 2 surfaces are going to be even with each other. So this time around, I'm going to use the mate tool. So I'm going to mate this flat surface here to that flat surface on the part, and I will hit apply. And just for purposes of illustration, I'll show you this. You can see that this thing is still moving all over the place. I can move it forwards and backwards, I can move it left and right, but I'm going to guarantee you one thing: you think that's going up and down, it's really not. Let's see if I look at this from the front view. Put my cursor in here and try and move it up and down. It doesn't do that. It will go left and right though. Alright, so back to my view. So that is the first mate that I need. The next one I want to put on here, and I'll go back to my constraining tool, mate, and make sure that mate is on. For solution, I'm going to click on that face and that face, and I'll hit apply. Now these 2 are moving back and forth, right? Still, so that means I've got one more mate to put in here, and I just like to take this and move it away. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually constrain this surface to that one, and I hit apply. And now I've got my parts, these two parts, attached together. I put my cursor on there and I can't move them. You need to fully constrain your parts. I'm going to hit the down arrow thing here next to the word puzzle cube 2, and you can see all of the mates that went into making this. Now I'm going to undo a couple times, and I'm going to do this a little different way. Undo one more time. So I know that I want this part. I'll flip it one more time. There we go. Okay, so this is how it came in. And I know that I want this surface down against that one. And you can do what I just showed you. You can use the constraints to flip the part over. Or if I highlight this and go up to the word free rotate, I can sort of turn it and get it oriented the way that it's going to kind of go in the part. And that sometimes helps you as students see how things are going to fit together. Now back to constraint. Again, I got the mate turned on here. My solution is going to be face to face. So I'm going to click the face of this one. I'm going to use my view tube to turn here to the face of that one, and I'm going to hit apply. And then I'll double click here, and you can see that this thing is not even. So I'll hit cancel. I'm just going to move this away. By the way, I always put just 2 parts in that I'm working on. I could put all 5 puzzle cube pieces in here, but sometimes that gets very, very confusing. It's constrain. I'm going to click on that surface, get my puzzle cube and that surface, and I'm going to hit apply. Again, I'm just going to zoom out here, and I can even use the home button. Now, the reason I wanted to do this one is I wanted to show you the other mate type solution, as the better word. So I still got the type set to mate, but I'm going to use flush, because this flat surface right here and this surface, or this one on the yellow part, should be even with each other. So if I click on that one and I click on the blue one and hit apply and cancel, now both of these pieces are mated completely together. So that's the end of this video. Again, I'm always looking for at least 3 mates that are going to hold this thing together, and you'll end up with more than 3 mates on here when you start putting in other pieces, because then you got to put in another 3 and so on and so forth. So that's the end of that.